Hey everybody, hey everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm super excited today, partially because it's my birthday. So I'm mid 40s now, although I was mid 40s last year too. And it's a rainy day here in Wonder Tucky, where I live. It's not really Wonder Tucky, it's Wonder Lake, which is northern Illinois. And it's beautiful out. Hi, Victoria, good to see you. As you can see, my view is starting to pop along. Hey, Carol, my sister came out last night and collected some wild geraniums and Jack in the Pulpit and wild black raspberries, and she also got red trilliums exactly from my yard because I've got more than enough to spare. So it's a really fun time here in the Hickman yard. Hey, Sue, because I just have all sorts of great spring ephemerals coming up, and I don't have to do anything. I like to watch nature without having to mess with it too much. So anyways, today we are going to be talking about acupressure points for anxiety. And we're going to be talking about acupressure points all week because a lot of people don't understand that in Asian medicine, they don't just think about a physical issue. They think about a physical issue, a mental issue, an emotional issue. And they're all tied together. There's no separation. So when you work an acupressure point on the body, it means, hey, Carolyn, it means you're not just working the physical part of the body that you're working. You're also helping balance out everything that's associated with that point, which means that your ideas and beliefs, your thoughts and feelings, hey, Kathy, and your physical self. So acupressure it's a true interpretation of holistic medicine, of where we address multiple facets of the same of the same issue from lots of different directions, which is really what I specialize in, because it's not about doing this symptom or that symptom or the other symptom. It's about how it all works together. And so I work with women to help deal with the physical symptoms of high levels of anxiety and stress, with old memories or old injuries that are getting in the way of are causing them pain, or with chronic conditions like inflammation, rheumatoid arthritis, old, long dealing physical issues that they haven't been able to resolve yet. So that's my specialty, really bringing it all together, all of that too much information together so that it's useful for what's going on. So yesterday, Kathy asked for acupressure points for anxiety, and anxiety's just gotten out of control anymore. I'm getting more and more women whose doctors are referring them to me because they're dealing with anxiety and all of these symptoms that come with anxiety, whether it be a heart condition, whether it's headaches or dizziness, vertigo. It could be chronic back pain, chronic joint pain. Maybe they're looking at it. I'm getting a lot of therapists who are directing people my way too, because their hormones are changing, or hey, Victoria, or people are dealing with depression, and their relationships are starting to fall apart. And this has to do with acupressure and the multifacetedness of it, where you not only deal with the physical things which are contributing, but you deal with the mental and the emotional. So today it's anxiety, specifically how anxiety can help you dial down a lot of your physical symptoms. So what happens when we're anxious? Usually anxiety is a felt sense. It can come across as pain, or like our skin is crawling. It can feel like our mind just won't quiet down, that we're in a constant space of fight or flight, that we're always on the edge, ready to snap at people. Or it can be where we're already over the edge and we've shut down. Now we're too heavy. We're staring at the wall. Our nervous system is overstimulated and cannot handle it anymore. So these are all symptoms of anxiety. They're not just a simple, yes, no sort of questions. Anxiety is when our bodies and our minds and our nervous system is overstimulated by technology, by the constant dinging of our phones, by the movement and the activity the paranoia that we're always at in uncertainty, the lack of connection with nature, the lack of really great spiritual practices that keep us in a good place, community, socialization, all of those things. So all of those are super, super important to keep us in a balanced place. And one of those pieces is the physical self in Asian medicine. So a lot of people have tried Asian medicine, and they've tried acupressure and acupuncture. And one of the main problems I always had with things like that is that they felt too subtle. When I first started on this path, I had a lot of problems. I had a lot of stuff going on. I had IBS. I was angry every morning. My relationship was difficult. I had no emotional intimacy with people. I was cut off. I was fighting my way out of things. And I was making risky choices. And that's where I started at. And I thought, wow, they say acupressure and acupuncture and things like that should fix this. It says it should fix it. When you're too far gone, when you have too many issues going on, acupressure is not going to fix anything. And that's the problem that a lot of people have is they try it and they think this doesn't work. It's not working at all. But remember, I just talked about how things are multifaceted. And acupressure is one tool in your toolkit that helps you deal with everything that's going on. It's not the solution, but it's another thing that you can use that's free, cheap, easy, accessible, anytime, anywhere, hiding in the bathroom. And acupressure works best when you catch something before it becomes a bigger problem. You know what I mean. When something happens to us and we just push through it or ignore it, maybe it's a backache, maybe it's that we're not sleeping well, some night, maybe it's that we're drinking more wine, maybe it's that we're gaining weight, or we just always seem to be on edge lately. These are things that we're used to pushing through because we think, oh, we'll be fine. What you don't realize is that it's just the tip of the iceberg. When you're feeling these symptoms, it means now is the time to course correct. Because if you don't course correct now, it's going to become something bigger. So just when you think you need to be pushing through this, that you need to be powering through it, that's actually your cue that it's time to use something like acupressure. So what is acupressure? There are points along the body that Japanese warriors thousands of years ago discovered when they were in war. They would get these splinters in their body, and they noticed that these splinters would affect them mentally, emotionally, and physically. Hey, Daniel, they found that starting to use these splinters and use these points on the body could affect health issues that they had. It would speed up healing. It would calm them down. It would get them ready for battle. It would reverse problems that they were having. And so they started to study it in depth. It became a real science. And they've studied it for thousands and thousands of years, mapping the body, finding out which parts of the body are associated with what controls it, how do we manipulate the body to do what we want it to do. So what I tell people is that I talk to their body. And acupressure is a way to talk to your body to tell it what to do. A lot of us kind of wait for life to slap us in the face and then we react. We don't realize that we've got so much more power than we want because we feel helpless. We weren't taught how to do these things. Acupressure is a way that you get to use your conscious mind, your decision, to tell your body, you know what, I want you to fix this. I want you to fix that. The body's kind of like free will. I'm not super religious. I was raised Catholic, so I really, it was pretty intense for me. But I really tapped into the idea that of free will, and the body's kind of like that. There's no judgmentalism. There's no, you're going to get liver disease because it's in your best interests. No, you get liver disease because your body says, oh, we have a problem here. There's no judgment. There's no moving us forward to a higher place. It's just the action consequence. So the body is it's very malleable and very willing to go in whatever direction you want it to go. And this is where your power is. Your power is when you decide, you know what, I want my body and my mind to go in, to turn left, or I want it to turn right. You use your conscious mind to make the best decision for you, and then you use tools like acupressure to move you towards there. So if you're starting to feel anxious, if the weather's starting to change, if you've got a social engagement coming up, if you know that there's issues going on in your family, this is when you can use acupressure. So there's 3 points I want to show you today, plus one nice little move. All right? So when you're starting to feel anxious, point number 1, okay, is right here. So you take 3 fingers down. It can be on either wrist, okay? Either wrist, it doesn't matter. You take 3 fingers down from your wrist, and the 3rd finger is the point. So when you're going to be walking into a social situation and you're going to be a little bit anxious, I want you to hold this point, and you hold it so the blood flow is impaired a little bit, but not so anything goes numb or it's painful or anything. And you'll naturally feel kind of like a little divot in there. It'll feel like it's the right spot. So don't worry that, oh my gosh, do I have the right spot? I'm not going to come to everybody's house and put a little, marker dot on your wrist. But you will intuitively, naturally know where the spot is. And it's about 3 fingers down, as I said, about 3 fingers down. So you find it, you find the spot that intuitively to you feels right, and you hold it. Now, the thing about life force and qi, which is the basis of Asian medicine, is life force is everything. It's blood, it's heat, it's nervous system signals, it's lymph signals, it's all of that. And so if you want to know if what you're doing is working, if this acupressure point that you're holding, hey Rachel, is really doing something, I want you to pay attention to what you feel. And you're going to feel for a couple different things. One, you're going to feel for heat. It will start to feel a little bit warm. And the longer you hold it, the warmer it will feel. And you may feel a flood of heat, and then it'll come down and level out. When it levels out, that's when you can let go of it. That's when it's time to be, okay, I've held it long enough. You can rub your thumb around it if you want. You can do all of that. So you want to feel for heat and maybe a rush of heat and then the heat going down. You also want to feel for a pulse, because a pulse is circulation. It's life coming there. I can already feel my point starting to get warmer, starting to heat up underneath my thumb. If I kept holding it, and I will while I'm talking, I'll feel for a pulse. And it'll start out faint, and then it'll usually get stronger, and then it'll balance out and fade away, just sort of like the heat was too. It's the same sort of thing. It's like everything's coming, wherever you're focusing, everything's going to that spot. It's clearing out what's in the way, and then it's normalizing. And that will affect you in a positive way. It'll bring down your blood pressure, you'll feel less anxious, your mind will calm down, all of those things. So I'm starting to feel a pulse right now, which is good, and it's still pretty warm where I'm at. As I said, you can do this on either wrist. 3 fingers down, hold it, and then wait. Not enough so that there's pain or cutting off too much circulation, but that you feel it. All right? The next point I want to give you is where your wrist on the side, where your wrist makes that crease. So it's the same sort of thing. You find it intuitively, feel for where you think it should be, and then you hold it. You don't have to hold it with a specific finger. Hey, Irma, nice to see you. You don't have to hold it with a specific finger. You can hold it with your thumb, like I'm doing. And you do the same thing. You feel for the heat, and you feel for the pulse. All right? And then you notice how you're starting to feel better. Thanks, Irma. I really appreciate the support. So, things like this, what they do is they start to lower your blood pressure. They increase the circulation. They help your body come back into balance. And these 2 points are really great. A third point that I want to give you is on your foot. All right? So, here's my foot. You want to look for the spot between the second and third toe. All right? Go about halfway down. Feel for a point, not halfway, about a third of the way down. Feel naturally, normally for the point. Do the same thing. Hold it, massage it. This one may even feel a little bit tender. It does feel tender on people. So, between like the second and third toes, and then down, you'll feel it. It's right about there. Okay? And hold it, feel it, massage it. It'll probably be tender. You'll be like, oh, that hurts a little bit. We have so many nerves on the bottom of our feet. It's crazy. We can access, it's why reflexology works. We can access almost our entire nervous system through our feet. It's really, really, really wonderful. So, oh, good. Thanks, Irma. So a good foot massage, especially with that specific point, will talk to your body and tell it to calm down. It will tell your body to normalize itself. And as a side effect, your anxiety will come down. Okay? So when you get your body calmed down, your anxiety comes down. And you hold that point, you massage it, you touch it, till you feel the heat, till you feel the pulse, till some of the tenderness goes down. And you'll notice that your blood pressure goes down. You'll notice that more of a sense of calm will come over you. Your thoughts will start to quiet. You won't feel as heavy. Hey, Steve, good to see you. You won't feel as heavy from it. Okay, so the last spot I want to tell you before we're done for the day are your ears. Like your feet. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Kathy. I'm so glad that the points are helping already. They work great. So, like with the feet, you can access almost your whole body, hey, Carrie, through your ears. It's why they do, the little stimulation points on your ears. They can either do it with needles, or they'll do it with a little probe that will work your ears. But, the easiest way is just to massage them. Hey, Carrie. So if you massage your ears, and remember, you want to do it for a few minutes. You want to feel for heat. You might not feel a pulse as much. And you're not as worried about inside your ears as you are about everything that's on the outside. And I mean, almost your whole body through your ears. Same thing with your head too. So I have a friend of mine hey, Carrie, I have a friend of mine who sells shampoo, really great shampoo. And we talk all the time about how washing your hair and making sure you get all of those points and getting your scalp really worked on. That's a way to lower your blood pressure, to lower your anxiety, to put you in a much, much better space. Okay? So those are the points for today. Put in the comments something else that you would like to see this week, acupressure points for a specific issue, and I'll give you more tips for that already. But save this, share it. If you've got questions, ask them, and really let's support each other through this, because it's become a crazy world, and we have to have a little oasis of sanity. You're welcome, Irma, no problem. We have to have a little oasis of sanity where we're all coming together as a group, as a tribe, where we're nice. You betcha, Carolyn. I'm so glad it was so helpful. And you have a great day too. Okay, so that's it. Share it, like it, love it, because then we can get this information out into the world in a really super easy way and start getting us on a good track. You're welcome, Kathy. So I will see you tomorrow, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.